Hey guys, welcome to Rising Stars. I'm your interim host, Sean Watt. Michael will be back in future episodes. This production is sponsored by Urban Eats MTL, and this program is about showcasing some of the talent pool that are up and coming here in Montreal. Without further ado, I would like to present you guys to Michael. Michael,
Hi.
how you doing, man?
How you doing? Good.
I'm good. So should we just dive into it? That you and
Yeah.
I were on-screen brothers.
Yes, we do have that familiarity. We were on Screen Brothers. We're talking about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
I believe it was through Travis. I don't remember that.
It was.
You know.
Yeah, it
so,
was. Yeah.
So it was a great experience, and look where we are now.
I remember going through that production and, you know what I mean, seeing a picture of you and doing a funeral scene, and I'm like, how do I connect with this person I've never met in my life before? And I ended up crying for you, and then I met you on set, you know, later on during that
Yeah,
day.
you probably looked at a pathetic picture of me that day and looked like I was angry within. That's
Yeah.
probably why you felt that way.
Probably. Yeah, so take me through some of the steps and the processes that you go through as an actor. So, for example, when I saw that picture, I had to go through my own process, right, to prepare for a funeral scene.
I remember
What are
that.
some things
Well,
you
I remember the role I played was some rich guy who was angry and have a poor brother with his son who was pathetic in my eyes.
Yeah.
What I tend to do is take some of the life experiences and build that within me and try to personify what it would be like take portions of that type of person, so the domination aspect. You know, the fact that, you know, you're above others, like you've made the right decisions all the time. Anyone who doesn't is below you. So you have to put yourself in that persona. Obviously, through life experience, you also meet people like that. And I think through my life, I've always tried to emulate others to try to make myself better. And honestly, that does not work. Just be you. But in this sense, when trying to be as an actor, it does work because, you know, you're a short time, but you're believable for a short time.
Yeah.
And as I said, I just try to use from experience and also from knowing others and incorporating that in my own process.
Okay, so is there, let's say you don't know someone who's a serial killer, because who does, right? How can you get in the mindset if you had to play a character like that? What are like some of the step-by-step processes that you'd be willing to share?
Okay, so this is not to be controversial or anything. I don't believe anyone is a serial killer. But within us, there's always that little bit of something that triggers you. And if you control it, which we all do as human beings, it comes and goes. But if you let it go and see how far you can take it within you, it could be a whole other deal. And you can understand the psyche a little bit. You know, jealousy, bitterness, you know, you're beaten in life by your parents, you know, you use what you can to get that anger and that emotional so high that when someone threatens you, you automatically want to jump, just like when you're a kid and maybe you have some sort of deal with your parents that's not very comfortable.
Yeah.
So you imagine what you want to do. Sometimes you as kids would say, oh, I want to kill you. You're not. But that mindset's within. So I tend to reach within that inner child, so to speak, and see how far it can go. And that really is how you can get the head of somebody. At the end of the day, those people have satisfaction for what they do.
Yeah.
I do not, but I do feel satisfactory for reaching that emotional level and making others believe that as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, me, I'm just more chilled than that. But we all have that something within us that if you just tap that button just right, you're good to go.
Okay, so you're really basing your preparation for roles on your inner self.
Your inner self,
Your inner self,
absolutely.
so to
Like,
speak,
what would you be in that situation? Because you're trying to be real too. Sometimes, like I said earlier, if you try too much to be like someone else, you're not going to come off necessarily like that. There has to be some sense of you, you know, because otherwise, it's how's it going to work?
Yeah.
So that's why I always believe that reach within to tap those emotions. Yes, I definitely watch those type of things. I don't watch serial killer stuff. I don't like it because I think it glorifies them. But
Yeah.
I understand the psyche behind it. What's that about? And if you can focus on the psyche aspect, that can really help you in developing your own character.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the way I see acting is you have an alternate persona. And you just flip through cards almost.
Well,
And
I'm
then,
a pure
okay,
Gemini, so I got many alternate personas.
Right, so yeah. Yeah, it's sort of how I see it too. It's just putting on different personality.
Exactly.
And
Depends on
new
the day.
mask, so to speak, and then you're good to go. All right, so let's loop back around.
Sure.
How did baby Michael get into acting?
Baby Michael got through acting through baby voices. I don't mean literally baby voices, like, ring. But as a kid, like, I've always had a thing. I don't know where voices started coming out, but I would hear a police car, and I'd start doing a police car. It won't sound as good as it did then, but I did that. And I remember my mom thinking, "Is there a police outside?" I'm like, "No, Mom, it's just me." I'm like, that's really cool. I made her think there was a cop outside. I must have been, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, maybe a little bit older, but not much older than that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool.
Okay.
And then I got involved in a couple of plays in school. I got to play an old band. My mom would make the outfit for me, some ripped old blazer my dad would have from like the 80s.
Yeah.
And I have patches, and I would do that whole beard with the cotton beard, and be growing like this, you know, and get into that character. And I remember being on stage, the whole auditorium was full back in this high school that I went to perform in.
Okay.
And the thrill, and I saw my dad there, and it was, anyways, it was the thrill of being in front of those people, making them laugh, knowing that I can control their emotions in such a way, just blew me away. And just through time, watching telecommercials, called 1-800-222-555, like Time Life cassettes, you know.
So for example, like after high school, when you went to go pursue maybe possibly university or college, did you pursue acting through that time?
So funny enough, when I was 18, I actually got into CKUT, McGill Radio, where I had a show called What's New in Montreal.
Oh, cool.
So I was one of the first guys to actually go into cyber cafes and get into these big machines and box this 3D block guy. I think it was a guy, I don't know, it was those blocks. Yeah. But I got into that, and I was really enjoying doing that, and I did the weather a little bit. But life was really... I was on my own at 18, so I needed to work as well. So I got in the call center industry.
Yeah.
So I started selling on the phones, and my voice changed at a certain time through that, even got deeper. And I knew that through customers' reactions. Yeah. So I really learned to, so from there I was like an actor on the phones, you know. Yeah. And that allowed me to create the skills I have today that allows me to be on stage and other stuff. But reading in school, high school was really important to me. I loved Shakespeare as a kid. I had a little toy Shakespeare wooden guy that would be flipping around.
Nice.
So stuff like that, reading in school, but I wouldn't read like, A, B, C, D. I would try to put emotions behind it to imagine myself in that world. So
from what I'm gathering from all the information that you're giving me is that you're primarily a voice actor and a theater actor.
I've been in the last few years, I've done film as well, for sure, but to build the skills that I needed to be where I'm at today, absolutely voice, theater, because when you're in the spotlight, you don't have much time to. No. If you make mistakes, you got to play. So it's a really great learning tool to have. Is
there a particular role that you're very proud of when it comes to either theater or voiceover, particularly those productions, and then we'll talk about film and television.
So one voice thing for sure. Let's just say I'm a big fan of Transformers. Yeah. And I could never do Optimus Prime as a voice. Well, I think it's Peter. I don't want to screw up his name. Anyways, the guy who does Optimus Prime, I think it's Peter Weller, but he's really good. But Megatron was more something I could do from the movies, that you've seen as of late.
Nice.
From the Reborn movies. Yeah. So slightly Frank Welker, a bit of Hugo Weaving combined. So I got an opportunity to do that for some people in BC.
That's cool.
And that was, and so to see my name with the credit, Michael Aronovitch as Megatron, is absolutely amazing.
Was it like a commercial? No, or what was that?
Young people, who are passionate about filmmaking. Nice. And got all the Transformers toys, did all the movements, and got voices from, I don't know, all over Canada, but definitely I know a couple of actors from Quebec and a lot of them from BC, and some of the guys themselves did their own voices. Wow! So I auditioned for it, and they're like, "Hey, you're the best Megatron by far. You want to do it?" I'm like, "Absolutely!" I'll do it for
that is
free.
So cool, actually. Yeah.
But so that was a big deal for me. The other thing is Cherry Docks, a play that I was in with Brian Libro November of 2022, 23, with ADGT Theater.
Is that here in Montreal?
Yes, it is. It was produced by Davin Ryle and Ricky Smith, excellent gentlemen. So they had the theater company. They have this theaters company. Had it for a very long time, and I had an opportunity to be part of it. In Cherry Docks, it's dealing with racism. You're face to face with a skinhead who beat up and killed a South Asian man, and I'm a Jewish lawyer who has to defend this guy, dealing with his own emotions with someone who's I don't want to say Nazi sympathizer, but obviously
pretty intense.
It's the most intense thing I've ever done. So to reach within my own heritage and to perform in front of this again, Brian Libro, perform in front of him was a really big deal. Not only that, they cast me 2 months before performance. So I had to learn roughly 6 or 7 monologues and 8 dialogues in a very short time frame.
How did you learn those lines so quickly?
So,
for anyone who's trying to get into theater, what's the secret?
So memory is very important. Obviously, repeat, and I have a really can I say the name of the app that I use?
Absolutely.
Line Learner. This thing is the best thing since sliced bread. For actors, because what it does is allows you to hear it over and over and over again. You could even make other voices to be your opponent. So you're literally thinking, So in my other job, I can listen to that as I go around.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So it's like listening to a song and repeat that you love.
Repeat.
And at least you don't have to hear your own voice, right? Because
you can.
There's nothing great about that.
Yeah, nothing great about my voice at all. It really sucks.
No.
So I'll even put on a Mickey Mouse voice or Donald Duck voice.
When I press play on those voice messages that I've sent by accident, it's like the worst nightmare.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh God.
Honestly,
I
I
don't
probably
want to listen to this.
No, I'm a little bit more. I'm aware of what I can do, but obviously everyone has their own preferences, what they like.
Yeah.
But as a confidence, you have to be confident, and if you are, you'll come off that way. So when I do hear myself, I think I'm okay. Although if I see myself, that could be another story. It could be cringy, but.
Okay, so how about, let's talk about some of those aspiring actors, the guys that are just starting out. Where did you go study?
So Montreal School of Performing Arts, MSOPA. Joseph Mall was for me a very big influence in helping me in the film part of things. Mm-hmm. But I have to go a little bit further back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually went back to school probably like 8 years ago because I needed to finish some things. Yeah. And I found a drama class run by, I'm going to say her name because I love her to death, Rebecca McDonald. One of the best drama teachers you can ever have. Okay. I saw that I needed to do something with my time. So I took up that drama class. It was the best thing I ever did. It woke me up inside and allowed me to be me again in a way that she brought it out. And that's through actions, movement. And
it's beautiful, huh?
It's beautiful. Yeah. And being with people who are not actors. And seeing them develop, because that class was more than just about being an actor. It's about developing yourself within, building your confidence, your way of thinking, your improvisation.
That's really what sort of acting is when you first start out. Like I remember going to MSOPA. When I found MSOPAs, because I searched in Google, I put just acting schools Montreal, and it was one of the top results. Is that how you found out about MSOPA as well?
No, the person I became a friend with somebody who's actually cousins, a family member of Josa. And she mentioned the school. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, this exists? Yeah. So I gave her a call and I said, I'm really interested and I want to join. But even before that, I ended up singing a play at the school I went to called run by Shakespeare Montreal.
Yes.
And they were doing The Tempest or something like that. And I said to myself, I'm going to join those guys next year. And I did. I actually got cast in Romeo and Juliet. As, oh my God. I say as Prince Aeschylus, so the cousin of Romeo. And it was a dream come true to do Shakespeare, to accomplish what I've always wanted to accomplish, and to have the confidence of the guys who allow me to be part of that. Yeah. Ace Lopez and Aaron George, great guys, and because of them, it allowed me to get into acting more of a mainstream thing than just.
Congrats! It's always an amazing feeling from the inside when you accomplish your own sort of goals and things like that, right? Because everyone's goals, it's to each of their own, tomato, right? So your goals might not be what my goals are, or vice versa, or other people's goals, what are some of your goals that you have for the rest of 2024 and 2025?
Well, as an actor,
like actor, but also personal goals, things where, because we want to use this program for directors and producers, whoever is going to end up watching it, to sort of get into, to get to know you as a person.
personal
I think
goals.
that's important.
Yeah, well, for those other goals to happen in terms of being an actor and all the other things that you want as far as the material and the jobs,
Yeah.
is within. For me, it's definitely having more of an establishment in the film sector of acting. But to do that, I want to look at improving things. I mean, I have some acting work I need to put together, better demos, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So my goal is to really just get myself out there a bit more. I've already got an agent within last summer. So since then, I've been doing more extra work. Though not lately. It's been a little quiet, so I'm hoping we'll pick up again.
Yeah.
But getting to that next level of where I'm seen enough, you hear me enough, you give me the opportunity to actually be on screen to show what I can do as far as voice and as far as being more of a main screen type of guy, I suppose.
Okay.
The extra great stuff is great. So I'm hoping personally that through my own development of establishing myself as an actor, but also as a person that you can work with, because I'm always believe, honestly, just because you're a good actor doesn't mean you're going to make it. You have to be a good person. You have to be understanding of what it's like to be challenged in life, good or bad, and where you take it from there. I also have to make I have two beautiful children. They're 14 years old, boy and girl,
Nice, congrats,
and I'm motivated to make them proud of me. I think that's my personal goal, is to show them that it doesn't matter where you're at or where you've been in life, it's where you can go. And,
Absolutely.
And if you lie down and die, that's what's going to happen.
It's a mindset, right? So there's a lot of people that unfortunately, those that are interested in acting or things like that, or they just don't get actors, they sort of lose that inner child.
The thing is, the acting part of us is always there.
It's
a matter of letting it out. The inner child is exactly what I found in myself. I think back when I was living in Toronto, I met some interesting lady. I'll put it that way, and she reached within me that I haven't talked to in years. Once that inner child was let loose, everything came back from my upbringing, which was not easy, to where I am, to where I've been at that time, which was okay, but needed to be much better. My own mental health, to where I am now, is just crazy.
Yeah.
And so personally, it's just constantly developing that. So as a person, as an actor, others can feel that this is more than just an actor. This is a person that can be seen, should be heard, because, like you said, there's many of us who struggle to try to make it. Sometimes, and you don't have the money always to do it, but there are still ways to do it. Networking, meeting people, networking.
So let's talk about something where it's like, okay, you're talking about people who might not have money, because that's honestly the truth that we're living in now in our society.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, how can you still develop as an actor? Do you believe you can still develop as an actor?
Every day we're developing. I mean, with all these life situations we're in, we're developing ourselves, because we're learning about new situations, how we handle them. And to understand the opposition, which unfortunately there's always is, you have to understand their mindset. So you really are getting to the heads of others. So for me, it's all about getting to the heads of others, and so I understand their side of things and I understand my side of things. So when I do perform and meet others, we're on the same page. When you don't have anything, that's a way to go. Meeting people is free. I mean, I was going to say, and we have in our Facebook communities, there's meetups of actors, there's promotions of, of an acting schools. They'll even let you, like MSOPA, it's free. If you need places to be cost affording, that's one place you can go. You don't have to dish out. I don't know exactly how much it is, but you don't have to dish out like $500 in one shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can break that down. They're there to help you with that.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, but you think you can make it somewhat, don't be afraid to ask. It's okay. Again, MSOPA I promote because to me that was the best thing for me, and she allowed me to do it that way, and it helped me a lot.
That's amazing.
I don't want to promote her doing. I don't know.
No. So that's a big kudos to Josa at MSOPA. Thank you for being so grateful to struggling actors. That's amazing.
Yeah, but you have to work hard. This isn't a game. It's real life in a lot of ways.
It is sort of, when you first start off acting, sometimes it's for someone who's just socially uncomfortable in society.
Well, that's it. That's why you can take it. It builds your confidence. Like I said with school, it helped build. Like if you're new to the country and you don't have a lot of experience meeting people, this is a great way to get out.
A lot of icebreakers. I mean, when you're doing some of those classes and the icebreakers and you're doing crazy creatures and things like that, an outside source looking through a window would be like, oh my God, and step away, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's funny. The best is when I would rehearse, like especially when I did Shakespeare, I've always had great friends who support me, including my girlfriend. You're sitting on a park bench, you're just reading scripts. I had a great friend a few years ago, she was great with that as well. And people would watch you and they think you're some sort of celebrity. They actually take pictures of me rehearsing with my lines. So people just, and you just enjoy it. They don't know why you're doing it or whatever. But if you have the confidence and you don't care, but you just want to make people happy or just entertained, then do it.
Just do it.
It's free.
Okay, so one of the challenges that you're going from theater to film and television, what's the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome so far?
Just, I think more opportunities, getting more opportunities in film. I've been lucky enough to have had some auditions where I've been cast in short film stuff, and I'm very grateful for that. And I love the fact that I've done it because it helps, you help learn more skills as an actor, because it's not like I was going to say earlier, you can't always make money. You don't have enough money always to go to do these acting schools. Sometimes it's just good to just get cast in something. You never know, and if you get cast, guess what? It's an opportunity to work on your craft. Be all you can be, but take advantage of your opportunity because it's not always going to be there. And that's what I truly believe in. So if I get a small bit in something, whether it's with, I'm doing some crazy thing where I play some rich bully and getting arrested, and people make fun of me, okay, I got attention. In the comments sometimes you're not always going to like, but you have to realize it's the character they're really hating, not you.
No,
and,
exactly.
So I really, or they'll compare you to somebody that they shouldn't be comparing it to in some other industry, and it's like, well, at least I get that.
Yeah. Those are usually generally very positive comments. Actually,
I'll take it as positive. Any comment is a positive comment. That's what I'm going to say.
You take it with a grain of salt, and you know what I mean. Like these are coming from someone.
But you work on your craft.
Yeah, these are people who are coming from a viewer standpoint. They're people that you see every day outside here, just living their life, and they're choosing to watch your video. So
you have to be
from my point of things, I would be forever grateful and humbled. Right? Like you're watching my video. Thank you so much.
And the thing is with theater is you're always projecting. So I don't know if you notice my voice can jump.
I've never noticed.
No, I know. I'm a really quiet dude.
Yeah.
But in film, you don't have. I don't need to boom it like that.
No.
Sorry, because I have that mic there. So
is that a struggle for you?
Only to tone it down a little bit, but
absolutely.
But once you're in the moment, you're in the moment. Like you and I talking right now, I raise it a little bit, but it's more natural than it is going all out and to prove my point.
Your voice, from what I'm garnering, like we're both film actors. Yours is very powerful. So it's like
it's within here.
It's because you're trained primarily theater actor, right?
That's right.
So it's going to be a challenge for a little bit for you to go back into film and just sort of tone it down, but then switching back out again.
But it's cool too, because like I said, especially when I'm doing a part in a film where there's danger to me, then it's great. I mean, it's awesome because I do bring a lot of that stuff from theater because the emotions, it's got to be raw, and I have to get into a raw moment in my head for that. So that's important for me. But just, as an angry brother to you, I had to raise my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, as I said, once you do it, and then you realize you don't have to do that, it's more about your facial expressions and your movement as
subtlety.
Well. Yeah,
it's just right?
That's the thing with film. It's just more about your emotions, your expressions, and also getting to character. Because in theater, you have to be in that character for 2 hours, or in film, you could break it a little bit. Although I do believe in the mindset to try stay in character as much as possible. So some may like me in sets, some may not, depending on what the role is.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's a dream role that you have? Let's say we'll do this for theater and film and television. So we'll start with theater. What's a dream role? Something that if set money aside, your ego aside, this and that, if you can have just that one role, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, I always remember Death of a Salesman.
So that's the role that
Yeah,
you
I think I'd be that guy. Yeah.
Why?
Because I experienced it. I see the call center industry, how it's changed. I have friends who are going through struggles in their life now when they were big time back in the day. Death of a Salesman, call center version.
Okay. So
So I probably make my own. But that type of character.
what about like an established production that's already out there, but again, set aside all the ego, this and that? Which role
Oh man,
would you be
I wish
interested in doing?
I can't pick one off the top of my head right now because you got me at a good moment. But there was a name of it right now, but the one with the father and the son. James Earl Jones played the father. Denzel Washington played the father in this play. I can't remember the name of it now, and I apologize.
On Broadway?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just how the son says to the father, "You don't love me," and the reaction the father gave to "You don't love me." And when I go to the work and I'm going crazy, breaking my back, taking the crap from the employees. So, "You don't love me." I put food on the table. It's so emotional for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, Shakespeare for sure. I love Shakespeare. I would probably do it again if the right type of play came along. I read Julius Caesar as a kid. I probably would love to see a Julius Caesar type thing. But like I said, in Broadway, 2-man, 4-man type show. I shouldn't say 2-man because that's not true. Two actor, 4-actor type play. I don't care who it is. And a good team conglomerate where we can all unite and bring something on powerful. So there's not a particular one thing, but those type of roles where it's meaningful, deep, and can really hit you. Or a comedy. Love comedy.
Yeah. What about film and television side? So let's go through the movie and then we'll do a TV series.
So the movie, a thing like I did, I was on set and it was an extra and got to work right next to Woody Harrelson in Midway.
That's cool.
That was the dream for me because my dad and I watched Midway, the original with Charlton Heston. It was a movie from the early 70s. And I remembered one thing. I was a World War II buff. I still am. And I saw how my dad really enjoyed that movie. My dad's no longer with us, and it hasn't been for about 6 years. But knowing when I had the opportunity to be cast in that movie, even as an extra, and Brian Libero, he was with me in that film.
Yeah.
It was so good to be in a timepiece where I wore the uniform of a Navy captain. The Washington was behind me. I think because I always was interested in that time, to be in that time was a dream for me. I would do that again for sure. A historical piece.
Being on set in like a time frame like that, super cool. Did it feel real and authentic, or was it just kind of like, okay, I'm on set, and as soon as you step out?
It was real. The cars even smelled like the 40s.
Really?
Yeah, because they used the real deal. And those cars, I remember Woody Harrelson was saying,
leather,
it's like, man, these cars smell,
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I heard him say that, so I'm like, yeah, man, these cars really can get you a little going, eh? Because I know his other.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's really, So that was really cool. So the smell really made me think it was another time.
That's so cool. That's very interesting and fascinating.
Yeah.
What about TV show?
TV show, like I've always been interested in sitcom. My brother thinks I should be in a soap opera. I think I could do that.
Do you have one in particular?
Well, growing up in the soap opera days was like Young and the Restless, As the World Turns. I could see totally myself.
It's a big one.
Yeah, the Vin Diesel of soap opera is going on.
Well, those are facts.
Yeah, and TV shows like sitcoms I've always been a fan of. Anything to do with that can make people laugh. I like making people laugh just with my natural way. So, and my reactions I always think are funny, and like real stuff too.
Yeah.
Because of my life experiences, I do feel like I could bring out that real life stuff to the table. So it's something like that as well.
What's the last TV series that you've binged, where you're just like, I have to watch this, I can't stop?
Oh, geez. I'm watching Star Trek Discovery right now.
Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, I'm in the closet Trekkie. I don't wear the ears. Well, I was always a big fan of the original.
So I'll never see you at Comic-Con with the ears.
No, with the ears. Maybe a yellow jersey. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
or,
okay.
Or a red one.
It's either you just got to come out or you just stay in that closet.
But I have colleagues that were cast in Star Trek Discovery, friends. So it's like that would be really cool to be in that. I have a friend who she was in Star Trek First Contact. So that's really cool to see people in these films. Like, you want to be there.
I don't know if we're gonna have a conflict because I'm such a Star Wars geek.
I'm a Star Wars fan too. Oh, I love Star Wars.
Oh, thank God. Because I know there's a rivalry between.
I'm on both sides of the fence, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Which do you prefer though?
Star Trek. Star Trek. Adventure. I love the battles
Star
and all
Wars
that.
has adventure. There's Wookiees
Exploration,
and Ewoks
meeting new cultures. Because in Star Wars, the cultures and meeting cultures are kind of established, as you know. Yeah. So like you heard of these people before. Or in Star Trek, you're meeting races you may not have heard of before. And that was a lot in the original series. So I think, because you don't know what to expect. In Star Wars, you kind of know what to expect. In Star Trek, not always. And the stories take weird turns. So I kind of like that because it really zooms me in. I love Star Wars. Like I said, as a kid, I drew all the battles. You can't beat the battles of Star Wars. Star Trek's not bad, but Star Wars kills.
I don't even know if Star Trek has battles.
They have battles, and good ones, my friend. You need to watch the new Enterprise movies.
I might.
I'm a huge fan of Chris Pine, so so trust me, and he's a great Captain Kirk.
Okay, well, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about something a little bit more fun and goofy. Favorite food, like let's say dinner plate. If I can present you a plate right now, what would it be?
Okay, today it would be. I'm always a big fan of a meaty lasagna.
Lasagna, it's so heavy, and you get to sleep.
But you can't eat it every day.
Coma after? No.
You're asking me. You're criticizing me. What is it here? I'm eating before 9 p.m. Anyway, and I only have that once in a blue moon.
Oh, okay.
But in general, you give me a good salami sandwich, I'm good with that.
Really? Yeah. Anything on the salami sandwich in particular that
I'll take mustard.
Yeah. Mustard
bread,
salami.
And salami.
That's it, huh? No pickles, nothing like that?
On the side, pickles is okay. And
pickles on the side, you have to put it together.
Listen, we were poor growing up, my brothers and I, so I had fried salami and chips for dinner sometimes. Not the best meal, but it did okay, and it just stayed with me.
It worked.
It worked. It won't work today, because I definitely will have reactions to that. So health is really more important for me.
I know, as I'm getting older too, I'm like, why am I taking more power naps? Why are, certain things popping up?
But I also love culture food. Like, I have one specific thing. I love Middle Eastern food. I mean,
what about dessert?
Oh, well.
Here's your plate of dessert.
And chocolate cake, the chocolate mousse.
Chocolate mousse? Oh, yeah.
Or chocolate eclair.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a sucker.
So you guys provide this after the show, right?
Yeah, I've been told. Yeah, I think Giannis, you'll take care of that.
We're poor, but Travis isn't.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some hobbies. What would you consider a hobby but could be seen as a unique skill on your CV?
I used to fly helicopters in my remote control.
What?
By crashing them. Yeah, I got really good at it.
That's kind of cool. I guess that's a skill. Right?
Yeah, it was an escape for me when, my first marriage, my only marriage, where I would, I don't know, I love flight. I grew up as a kid loving airplane model. Actually, model airplanes I'm a huge fan of. World War II planes or F-14A Tomcat.
Do you build them?
I've had built them, yeah. My last one I built was a Spitfire, a British plane used in World War II who defended England from the Luftwaffe.
Nice.
So that was, so those type of model airplanes I love. And the flying helicopters, I'm not a great flyer, but that was something really cool, learning how to get the thing up in the air. It started with just 2 little mechanics to like 6 mechanics of a helicopter, which I cannot fly. Because 6 means I can do more angles, up, down, left, right.
Sounds very complicated. Yeah, I'm just picturing the controller.
Enough to crash it many times over, where I went through 7 of them.
Really?
That was the end of my helicopter hobby.
Yeah, crazy.
And I will not be flying one in real life, so all of you don't worry about that.
Okay, that's good. All right, guys. Well, that is our episode of Rising Stars Montreal. I'm your host, Sean Watt. This production sponsored by Urban Eats MTL. And I would like to thank Michael for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Sean. Pleasure.
It was so much fun.
Good to have you again, brother.
Take care of yourself, man. I hope to see you on set.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.